Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to Pure Pathways for another episode from our Animals in the Quran series. Today we'll be talking about the whale in the story of Prophet Yunus alayhi salam, aka Sahib al-Hut.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent this prophet to the idol worshippers of Nineveh, which is in present-day Iraq. Yunus alayhi salam continued to call his people to worship Allah, reminding them of the terrible punishments that came to Ad, Thamud, and the people of Nuh before them. Unfortunately, Yunus's reminders were rejected over and over again. Eventually, he gave up on his people and fled the city without Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's permission.
He boarded a small ship with the intention of traveling as far away from his people as possible. The ship traveled through the calm waters during the day, but as night closed in, they were hit by a severe storm. The crew and the passengers began to fear for their lives as the seawater gradually began flooding the deck and slowly sinking the ship. The captain announced that there must be a sinner among them, and the storm had been sent as a punishment. The captain was left with no choice but to sacrifice the life of that sinner to save the rest of the passengers. So to know who had to be thrown overboard, he decided to write the names of the passengers and choose one of them at random.
Prophet Yunus's name was selected. The men knew that Yunus was a righteous, honest, and a blessed man, so they refused to throw him off the ship and agreed to choose a name again. For a second time, Prophet Yunus's name was chosen. The men refused to throw Yunus overboard, saying, "We are not going to get rid of Yunus. He is the best man we have on the boat. Let's choose again." For a third time, Yunus's name appeared. Prophet Yunus knew that this was the decision of Allah to teach him a lesson for leaving the people he had been sent to guide. Prophet Yunus jumped out of the ship into the dark, angry waves and into the middle of the ocean, right into the mouth of a whale.
Imagine being in the situation of Prophet Yunus alayhi salam. As far as the eye can see is water, and you are in the middle of it, in the middle of nothingness, pitch black darkness all around you. You have no form of technology with you, and if you screamed, no one could hear you. No one knows you're here, or even if you're alive. And you're surrounded by all the creatures of the wide sea. And to make matters worse, a whale swallows you whole. You are now inside the whale's belly, surrounded by the remains of all the dead creatures it has eaten, and you can't see anything. Even if you were to somehow escape the belly of the whale, you would be in the middle of the sea with nowhere to go, and most likely, you would drown anyway.
The Quran mentions exactly what Prophet Yunus did when he found himself in this situation. He continued to repeat the same dua over and over again, repenting to Allah for the mistake he had made. La ilaha illa anta subhanaka inni kuntu minal zalimin. We should all learn this dua. We are encouraged to use this dua when we commit sins or need Allah's help, just like Prophet Yunus did.
Prophet Yunus's dua was answered, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordered the whale to take him to the shore and release him. Prophet Yunus had no protection against the sun or wind, so Allah commanded a tree to grow over him to provide him with food and shade. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgave him and informed him that if it were not for his sincere dua, Yunus would continue to be in the stomach of the whale until the day of judgment. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allowed Prophet Yunus to go back to his city, and his people were guided to leave idol worshipping, and they continued to follow his teachings until the day he died. This story is an example to show us that even in the darkest depth of the ocean, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will hear our calls. There is no situation that is impossible for Allah to fix.
Now let's look at some amazing whale facts that will make you say, Subhanallah. Whales are nicknamed the giants of the ocean, and there are 90 different species of them. But the Antarctic blue whale is by far the largest animal on the planet. It weighs as much as 36 elephants, and measuring the length of 3 school buses. The blue whale's tongue weighs as much as an elephant, and its heart is the largest heart in the animal kingdom, weighing around 400 pounds. That's the weight of a large gorilla.
The whale is one of the most intelligent animals in the world, with a brain that can be up to 6 times larger than a human's. And what's even more amazing is that whales have a unique brain structure where they can put half of their brain to sleep while the other half stays awake. That way they can still breathe at the surface and keep an eye out for predators while resting at the same time.
Whales are the loudest animals on the planet. Let's use this for reference. A jet engine is 150 decibels. The call of a whale reaches 230 decibels. A whale's language of pulses, clicks, groans, and rumbles can be heard by other whales up to 1,000 miles away. If you swim next to a whale while it was making a call, it would blow out your eardrums.
Sperm whales are known to dive to incredible depths in search of their favorite prey, the giant squid. And they can hold their breath for up to 90 minutes and dive to depths of over 3,000 feet to catch their prey.
Some whales can eat up to 4 tons of krill and plankton a day, and of course, what goes in must come out. So let's talk about their poop. Whale poop is actually beneficial. It floats to the surface of the water and fertilizes the plankton that lives there. Meanwhile, the iron in their poop helps clean the atmosphere from 200 tons of carbon per year.
Subhanallah, how studying the animals from the smallest ant to the largest whale can bring us closer to appreciating Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's creations. See you next time. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. May all your pathways be pure. Assalamu alaikum.